want to introduce to you next Susan Ipri Brown, who's going to talk about what she has been doing at her university, Hope College, about STEM education. Susan.
Great, thank you, Saeed. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for having me today. I want to talk today about impact and what are the type of programs that can be done, what are the way we set up these programs so that we are looking at the best impact that we are having on these students, and how do we put together the partnerships and the programs so that we are multiplying that impact as best that we can. There we go. Sorry, on my computer, they didn't overlap the pictures there. That's what happens when you transfer the pictures there. But at Hope College, we are a smaller liberal arts college in the western side of Michigan. We're on Lake Michigan near Grand Rapids. And we have a tradition, though, that's unique to liberal arts in a strong science and engineering program and a strong history of working with science teachers. We used to be the place to go for AP chemistry teacher training. And what I direct right now is a program that has over 1,000 students every summer and in a range of different programs throughout the school year that are getting the students in and doing these hands-on programs that we're talking about. And I think that it's important to recognize that while we may not be the big player in Michigan in terms of an R1 university, because we have a local impact, because we have a relationship with the community, we can bring together some of these partnerships and put these different programs together. So the other message that I want you to know is keep in mind, what is it the goal when we put together a K-12 program that we want these students to have? And part of that is making sure that we are working with the students where they are and are at that level. Chris alluded to it a bit in terms of saying there's not a one-size-fits-all, but there's also thinking about the diversity of the students that we have. I think within engineering, it is an amazing career and when you look at design is something that flourishes under diversity of ideas, diversity of backgrounds, diversity of understanding what it is that you are designing. And as you make sure that you are working with students and having them understand and get their hands-on with technical engineering, whether they are a lower achieving student, a higher achieving student, everybody in between. There are jobs at all different levels in between. There are opportunities to have an impact everywhere in between. And as one of them said, my other favorite is very similar to what I like to tell people, an informed electorate is a very good thing in the technical area. Am I hitting this by mistake? Sorry. An informed electorate is very important because that works with all the different policies. It works with the teachers who are comfortable in that area. It works with parents who are comfortable in that area, and that makes a big impact. So a couple of programs that I'll highlight that we do that I think makes that message come through. We work with one program that is funded through the Michigan Space Grant Consortium, and I don't know if you're familiar with that program. NASA allocates a set of money to each one of the states. There's a lead institution that runs a grant program within the state that we all have the opportunity to apply to. And it's a very good model because it makes sure that there's something that goes to all 50 states, and then within that state is they're making sure that this money is distributed among the states for a range of programs. And what we've done with this program is we partnered with the Regional Math and Science Center in the Muskegon area, and I'm not sure if every state has this network of regional math and science centers, but Michigan does, and it's a very strong way to have build these partnerships because they all have relationships within the schools, and we can then be a relationship as a higher education institute through that regional organizations and then to the schools. But we were able to bring into a college setting. Muskegon's an interesting area, have the very urban area right there in Muskegon, and very soon right up north of the city is very rural. So we had an interesting combination of kids coming together who are probably qualified in the underserved area within STEM, but very different, and gave them a chance to be on campus. But we partnered with their teachers. The deal was they had to come with a teacher, and the teacher came first and learned about what this was of putting engineering into the classroom, and then co-taught a program with us the following week when all of their students came. We additionally made sure that we had the pre-service teachers there. So our summer staff of pre-service teachers who staff all of our summer programs had to be putting this together, but had to put it together with the current in-service teachers. And it's a great partnership to watch them both grow, because we've already gotten the pre-service teachers excited about teaching this way. They're then learning from the in-service teachers who know what's happening boots on the ground, and they learn from each other, and the week that they present to the students is fascinating. So I love that model as making sure that we are looking at the entire system of learning when you put a program together. But then also that space grant model of making sure that as we're looking at a program that we can put out there, are we looking at ways that we really are reaching students in all the states and all the areas. The other way to really think about this is I like to think of the arts model. If you think of arts in the schools and arts in the community, there's a strong supporting network of community programs that also supports a lot of arts education. I have 2 middle schoolers. They're both very active in music. And we've got the piano club, and we've got the junior strings orchestra, and all these things that they're involved in. And you have the arts council that's supporting the art kids and the like. And I see it as this amazing boost that the kids are reinforced of what they're doing in the schools in arts, but they can see that in the community, and they can interact with the professionals in the community. Have we built that with engineering and technology? And we haven't really. And how do we look at partnerships in other areas where the kids are to bring some of these partnerships as well, so that as we're encouraging the teachers and working with the schools to put more engineering education out there, is there the community outreach as well? So for example, the scouting programs, there's a lot of scouting badges and the like that are related to science and technology, and the boys are really interested in it, and the girls are extremely interested in it, but they don't have the resources to get out there. Can we be encouraging that through where the students already are? Boys and Girls Club, if you volunteer to come in with a science or an engineering program, they want to give you more hours than you can give in your day because the kids are so excited about that. We have our local, someone mentioned the Makers Coalition. The Lakeshore Makers came in to one of our summer camps, taught the middle schoolers how to solder. They thought that was the coolest thing ever. Luckily, there's not soldering irons all over their home, or else I'd hear it from the parents that they'd be soldering everything. We had a great day through that. But it was great for the professionals to be coming in and working through that. So I would love to see, as we talk about things, where is this place-based learning? Where is this community that we can build up like the arts did within education? As well as experiential learning. I love that term because it really does emphasize that as part of the learning, we're experiencing that learning, and that's been referred to here as well, both for pre-service teachers as well as students. Are we working with our education departments? And I know the bill mentions that there has to be a partnership with the education folks to be giving teachers a sense of what this works. That one picture on the side, those are actually pre-service teachers who we strongly encourage to put together a Michigan Science Teachers Association workshop, and they went and taught what we taught them to in-service teachers, and had some amazing conversations of give and take, watching those pre-service teachers with the in-service teachers go through that. And then with the students, as much as we can get them out there, we've got a lot of water in Michigan, so waiters get a lot of use with our place-based programs. But the nice part about that experiential learning from a local area is if you can find those areas that the students want to know about their area, they understand their community, if it's a farming community, if it's a water-based community, and then that gives you resources that that the teachers can easily see to go out to, because, like I said, in Michigan, we got all these marshy areas. Well, let's put together some things they can get out there. And I'll give a shout out to Michigan as well when they adopted, they don't like to say they adopted the Next Generation Science Standards, it's the Michigan Science Standards. But they put an emphasis on, you can see in the little standards, there's the little shape of Michigan on a couple of the points, to emphasize that here are some areas that are relevant to our state, and that are relevant areas for you to go with. So we're doing something this summer to try to put more of those curriculum ideas out there so they can work with that, but making sure that we're giving these kids experiences. So as we move forward, I want to stress my messages again of when you're working in this area, what is that impact? Start with the impact that you want to make, and how do you put these partnerships together so that you are really multiplying that impact that you can make? And thinking through, are we reaching all of the students where they are and on the career paths that they see themselves? Because they don't always see that in the schools. Are we giving them an opportunity to see these as options as they go forward? So I encourage you to keep going forward with the bill, keep encouraging all the different agencies. There's some wonderful agency programs out there as well. And thank you all for being interested in this area.
Thank you, Susan. Really appreciate that.